Once your IronHorse is charged to 100%, you're going to go ahead and be ready to use it to charge and jumpstart the vehicle that you're using it for. Obviously, this is our 12-volt system. The cables come out of the back of the IronHorse. I've pulled them out. We have heavy-duty clamps, really heavy-duty clamps. Obviously, red on red, black on black. If you were to hook up the IronHorse incorrectly, there are protection features on it to where you're not going to injure yourself or damage the vehicle. Wanted to go over a couple of the display features up here. This is your operating temperature up here. That is the inside operating temperature of the IronHorse. So the temperature of the batteries on the inside of the IronHorse is that feature. If you want to use the flashlight on the IronHorse, you're going to obviously turn your display on, hit this button twice, turn it on, and there's your flashlight on the front and the back. If you hit this button again on the front cycle, it will provide an SOS pattern. If you're on the side of the road, want to attract attention to yourself, you can hit that button as well. So to go back to the normal screen, you'll click that twice. When you go out to charge and jumpstart the vehicle, the 12-volt system that you're going to charge and jumpstart, make sure that you set the IronHorse on a level surface, obviously away from water or anything like that. Mud puddles, things like that. If it's raining, try to protect the IronHorse. It is weatherproof to a certain extent, but try to protect the unit from pouring rain, things like that, snow. Do an inspection. Take your time and do an inspection of the batteries that you're getting ready to hook the IronHorse to. Look for corrosion, loose cables. Make sure you have good connection points. This is essential in this whole process. I generally hook the cables to the terminals that are closest to the starter on the vehicle. If you don't have jump starting posts on the vehicle that you're using, hook the positive and the negative cables to the terminals that are closest to the starter of the vehicle. This ensures the shortest travel for the IronHorse to the starter for this process. Once you have done an inspection on the vehicle and you're getting ready to use the IronHorse to charge and jumpstart the vehicle, make sure that the batteries will hold a charge. That is the most important thing, or one of the most important things in this process. The IronHorse is not built to jumpstart and charge batteries that will not sustain a charge. So if it's a vehicle that's been sitting for a long time, say it's been sitting for 6 months, a year, the batteries are garbage. There's no other way to really say that on the vehicle. The IronHorse was not built to do that. This was built to charge and jumpstart vehicles that will sustain a charge. So the first step when you're ready to jumpstart and charge the vehicle is you're going to take obviously the cables. Red will be hooked to the red terminal. Connectivity is extremely important in this process. You're wanting to get the best possible connection that you can. We've provided flat connection surfaces on our cables. They're really heavy duty. If you cannot get a really good connection, sometimes we use channel locks to get a bite down onto the terminals and then hook the IronHorse cables to the channel locks to provide connectivity. Connectivity is the most important part of this whole process. So take your time, make sure the IronHorse is hooked up correctly, and then you'll be ready to start the process. When you have a good connection point, you'll come around to the back of the IronHorse with your LCD screen on the front. You'll hold down the back cycle button for 5 seconds until you hear a beep. After that beep, the IronHorse is starting the process, the charging process. It's going to provide a voltage reading on the front screen of how many volts the batteries of the vehicle that you are charging and jump starting have. So if the vehicle has 4 volts, 5 volts, 6 volts, it's going to show you how many volts it starts with. After each 30-second cycle, when the timer goes down, you'll start a new cycle off of the back button until you reach the number of 12 volts. We recommend that you get to 12 volts or above before you even put the key in the ignition of the vehicle. Extremely important. There's no reason to draw any type of power from the IronHorse until you have the vehicle at the 12 volt number. So come around, read the display. Once it reaches 12 volts, you'll hit the back cycle button again. When you get up inside the vehicle and put the key in the ignition, you want to make sure that you have an active 30-second cycle. So when you're ready to jump start the vehicle, set this cycle button. You'll have 30 seconds to get up in the vehicle and turn the vehicle over. Very important that you do it during an active cycle to ensure that you get a good charge and jump start.